Hello once again, and welcome to what I actually think, for reals, will be the final live stream of Dr. Bees 3. Now, I thought it would be last night, but yeah, I ended up taking a little bit too much time, chatting a little bit too much, trying to spend a little bit too much time finessing some shots that were mostly already done. But today, we're finally in the position, I think, to finish the visuals, the animation, meaning, you know, the backgrounds, the character animation, the lip syncing, the effects, everything, on this live stream. And then all I will need to do is go ahead and do sound effects and some music, and that'll take a few days, and I'll have a finished episode 3. It's not really episodic, but a finished Dr. Bees 3, the epic 7-minute return of Dr. Bees. And that is what we're going to finish on today's live stream for real this time. I'm sure of it. I'm sure there's not going to be a part 3, okay? I really hope there's not going to be a part 3. We got to get this thing done. It's just been too long. Hello to everyone that's come by in the chat. I see Bowser the Dog, Nacho Hamburg, Tommy Boomer 11, the Bad Cow Bunch. Hello, Bad Cow Bunch. Roe Beast, Donny Arts, Mr. Matimation, Davy88. Thank you all for coming by. Hello, Delaxia, as well as Interloper, Space in a Space, and Egg Dude. I regret nothing. Hey, I really appreciate you all being here, hanging out with me while I wrestle with this animation. Let me tell you about where we're at. So if you remember yesterday, we basically left off on this shot here, which we struggled with. I haven't touched it, by the way, other than I changed the document background color from whatever it was, gray yesterday, to this kind of pink color. But let me turn up my speakers a little bit so you'll hear what I hear. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, So the Comforter has been defeated, spoiler alert, and he's reaching for his gun, which shoots, you know, projectile comfort at people, the Comfortizer, it's called, and he's reaching for it after being stung by many bees. Let me turn them speakers up even more. You can't hear anything. Oh, I know what's happened. I've got to open up my volume mixer and make Flash loud, because Flash is turned down lots. Now you'll hear it.
Perhaps if I could use the Comfortizer on myself.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we'll show that later on. So we left off basically on this extremely simple shot that I still didn't manage to finish yesterday. It should have been finished, but I didn't quite manage it. I'm having trouble talking today, by the way. My top lip has flared up. I've had a really funny, weird day with lots of little physical things happening to me. My top lip has flared up like I've had some sort of reaction to something, and my hands are tattooed in this horrible smell. I watered my lawn for the first time in ever, you know, like months and months, for the first time in forever, because the summer's coming, and I hadn't touched the garden hose in that long. And I thought, as I was kind of leading it through the garage to the front of my house, I thought, oh my gosh, has something died in my garage? Or something, because there was this horrible smell, and then I realized it was the hose. I hadn't touched the hose in so long. It had this like rotten mildew smell, and when I was done hosing my lawn, my hands stunk of this cheesy mildew smell. So no jokes about me handling my hose, having a smelly hose, etc. I've already made all those jokes with Joyce, okay? It's very immature. But yeah, I got stinky cheese hands and a big fat lip. So I'm not in the best of moods today. But anyway, that's not important. What's important is that we get this animation done. So we're going to color his hand coming in today. I'll add some kind of background, very simple kind of background, probably like a drop shadow. But you see, that probably isn't enough for one live stream. Otherwise, I would have been able to do it probably in about 20 minutes, really. It wouldn't take too much time. What I decided I would do is improve the shot after it, which is, it's not necessary, but I wanted to do it. And as you can see here, now we've got some rough frames. I didn't like that it just rotated up into shot. Originally, we just had this image here just sort of rotate up, and I decided it would be nicer if he actually kind of, frame by frame, kind of swings it around from pointing outwards to pointing towards him. So before the live stream, I got, oh, that looks nice. I got a live head start on an offline head start on drawing in some of these frames. So this is not going to be top. Look, you can tell that's an ugly looking image. It's really going to be ugly animation, but I just need, you know, maybe 6, 7, 8 frames, just to kind of get things to look so it's not so one-dimensional, basically. Let me turn the onion skin down a little bit there. So what I'm going to do is... I noticed the gun is drawn totally differently here to how it's drawn in the actual close-up. It's got like a rounded dome top there, and it doesn't have that here, but who cares? Probably nobody is going to notice, so I think we can let that slide. And this is not going to be really nice animation. I want to move through this quickly if possible and get to finishing the other shot, because yesterday we live streamed for over 2 hours, and guys, I want to be done in an hour and a half today. I really don't want this to take 2 hours, so that would be nice if we could just get it done kind of a little bit more timely than yesterday. Sound like I'm telling you off, like it's your fault. I'm like, guys, if we could just finish today a little bit earlier than yesterday, okay? I've got places to go. And of course, the only person to blame there on that front is me. So the gun is kind of this wacky 50s ray gun that's just going to be spinning into shot here. So I guess we'll see a little bit less of the top of the gun. Like I say, not going to be great drawing or anything. This is just going to be very crappy and quick to kind of give you the illusion that it's changed perspective without having to do very much work. Alright, I've been very ignorant and ignoring the chat. Let me see what they're saying. Hey, Tamagotchi, thank you for being here. Tamagotchi's a Patreon supporter, as are several people here today. Hello, Big Texas Tony. Hello, Terranium, another supporter. Hello, Sardonic Samurai. Back for more punishment, eh? Yeah. Alright. We are going to be maybe adding another 3 or 4 drawings. I don't know. I don't want to actually have to do any more, but it's probably a mistake making this shot more elaborate than it originally was intended to be, but can't help it. I'm just a glutton for punishment. Like you guys who have returned for another boring animation live stream. I mean, when I was done with this yesterday, I told Joyce, I said, animation is it's too boring to live stream. It's too boring. Look at this crappy drawing. It is so boring to live stream animation because, you know, nothing happens. But you guys, I mean, look, I have cartoons I've got to make. I can't be playing video games all the time. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of copying and pasting. We know that. We fully acknowledge there's going to be a lot of copying and pasting because what can I tell you? This is a kind of a slightly difficult, tricky, annoying thing to draw, and we want to get it done quickly. So if only those things could just combine. That's the song I love. If anyone's ever seen the film, there we go. I can't remember the name of the fucking A Mighty Wind, with the Spinal Tap guys, and they sing a song called Corn Wine. Consider the corn, consider the wine. One has a day when it's in its prime. The other takes years to be studying fine. If only the two could just combine. Corn wine, corn wine. Yeah, pretty song. A song about wine made of corn. If only the two could just combine. And you're probably saying stuff in the chat that I should check out. So let me see what y'all are talking about. What are you all talking about over there? Hello, Sid Sugar Skull. And Al Turbo Diesel. Interloper says, what video games were you playing lately, Harry? Not me. Well, the last video game I played was probably The Mummy, the 1998 Mummy movie. Got a game on the PlayStation 1 and the PC, and I found it on abandonware and installed it on my new mega computer that has 32 gigabytes of RAM and could play something much better, but I decided I would play a terrible licensed game from the late 90s. Not very good. Joyce got Doom. She got the 2016... She got Doom Eternal a while ago, and she wanted to get the 2016 Doom, so I've been watching her play a little bit of that. Just a little bit. But I've not really been playing anything interesting myself. The Davi88 says, breaking his hand Always with the backseat animating, making fun of the bad anatomy and stuff on the hand. Hey, dude, why don't you just give me some slack, okay? I know this is not going to be hot shit, but it's one limb, all right? It's kind of a not really a super important element. Let's just shrink that down a little bit. All right. And we'll in between the rest of the arm, because we've already got basically what we need information wise, we can just go ahead and in between this thing. Young boy went a-courting with just one thing in mind, singing, hey, nonny no, nonny ninny yo, a good time for to find. Young maid went something with something on her mind. Corn wine. That does look bad, doesn't it? This wrist here, this completely broken wrist. All right, but you see, in motion, I think we'll just about get away with it. See, we can just about get away with some bad animation like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to create some in-betweens now using the animation we've already done, because I do not want to have to draw this thing many more times. So something, if we can kind of get the perspective tool and maybe haha, I'm just pulling it around. I'm doing it all lazy and no, that's not gonna work. We'll just do something like this maybe. I'm kind of trying to create a middle position without doing a ton more drawing, but I think I do have to at least redraw the end of the gun. That's kind of I think it's the part where the perspective looks the weirdest if you don't redraw it. What are you saying in the chat? Sardonic Samurai says Doom 2016 and Eternal are great. Haven't played the expansions of the newer one. Sid Sugar Skull says mastering one accent is a feat in itself. Multiple accents is pure talent in my eyes. You guys talking about accents? Yeah. I'm always impressed when people can do accents and impressions. I can't really do impressions. Robeast says, any interest in the upcoming Snake Eyes film, Harry? How did you like the previous G.I. Joe films? I'm not really a huge G.I. Joe follower. I liked the 2009 one. I watched that one. I thought it was cheesy, but I don't mind cheese. Unless it's, you know, a smell on my hands caused by a hose. Referring to something I mentioned earlier. I liked it. I didn't see the sequel because it was, I don't know, it was directed. I thought it looked weird. It had Bruce Willis in it, and it was directed by the guy that did the Justin Bieber dance movies. I didn't see that one. I mean, maybe I'll watch the new one. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of movies that come out that I don't see. Like I have not seen any of the Spider-Man movies they've done recently. Even though I was a huge Spider-Man fan growing up, and I really loved the 2002 movie and the sequel, the first one more so than the one afterwards. I have just had no interest in seeing the new one, so I've missed a bunch of Marvel movies, and I don't really see myself, you know, getting around to watching something like Snake Eyes. But I could be wrong. It would be certainly a kind of thing that, you know, if I was with someone that wanted to watch it, I would absolutely be fine with that. Okay, and we're just gonna, in between this leg here, whatever you call it, the part of the gun you hold on to. Alright, that sort of looks like an in-between, and we didn't need to redraw everything, which is nice. I always appreciate a little bit of time saving here and there. And let's see. Okay. Gonna Gonna want to change the kind of position of the furry part of the coat there. The coat, the bathrobe thing that he's wearing. Alright, and something like that. Okay, so that's pretty much one in between down. That'll work just about. It's a bit wonky. But I mean, he's supposed to be shaky and he's all kind of uneven. Like he's, you know, laying in a pile of his own wounds, basically. Maybe you could just shrink it a little bit. You know, I don't like this stuff up here is not moving nicely. It looks like it jumps around too much. Let's just clean that up a little bit. If it looks like I'm rushing and doing kind of a crappy job on this shot, you're right. You are absolutely right. Your suspicions have been completely confirmed. Yeah, you know what? It's so bad. I mean, he's supposed to be shaking. I think we can kind of get away with it. Oh boy, maybe I should draw an in-between there and an in-between there. And maybe we should just call it at that. Oh boy. Oh boy, this doesn't look good. Oh god, the gun is so wobbly. I'm gonna try and get away with it. But I don't want to do that again. The whole copying and pasting of the gun just doesn't seem to... Oh, now I'm tempted to try and do it again because I don't want to have to draw the whole gun. No. This is shockingly bad animation. I bet you guys are so disappointed in me. Okay. That's me making fun of bad in-betweens yesterday, and now I'm doing them. I've become the thing I was making fun of, 100%. Alrighty. Okay, let me see what you're all talking about in the chat. Hello, Harry Ashfield. Good to see you. We're on the last shot. It's exciting, you're right. It is exciting. Mr. Animation says, for some reason, I just remembered a really long time ago, would have been 10 or 11 years ago now, I found out you had a livestream.com account. Yeah, I think that's gone now, that website, livestream.com. I don't even remember doing the Skyrim cartoon on it. You said on the stream back then that all you really did was trace and rotate things, and I thought that was so funny because it still looks so goo. I agree. How did you make your old Go Animate rant animation? Asks Purple Cartoonist. Hello, Purple Cartoonist. How did I make it? I just made it in Flash. I kind of tried to imitate the Go Animate style, but I didn't, use the software or use any other software. I just used Flash to try to recreate it. Hey, Connor Conman. Connor Conman says, Guru Larry impression. Hello, you. Hello, you. Welcome to another Happy Harry live stream. I can't do an impression of Guru Larry. Tyler Parker says, how are you able to talk and create at the same time? Well, Tyler, what I'm doing is I'm talking poorly, stumbling over my words, and not being very witty or insightful, and I'm also drawing poorly. So that's how we do it. We absolutely compromise both in terms of quality. Hello, you. Yeah, look at that hand. That's garbage. But if I was to show that to Joyce, she'd say, it's good enough, move on. It's good enough, move on. Because, bless her, you know, she's great to you know, be around for moral support. But every time I show her something, she goes, yeah, it's good enough, move on. Because she wants me to get things done and for us to have a good life. And for me not to be taking 7 months to make a friggin' Dr. Beast cartoon. Hey, thank you for the super chat, Tyler. Appreciate it big time. Is that a super chat? I think it's a sticker when it's a picture. I don't know. I'm not, you know, up on the stuff. I don't know what you kids are doing with your internets and your Dan Fogelberg records. Right. Let's try and draw. Let's try and draw another one of these suckers. Can we get away with reusing? No, we probably shouldn't. Should probably redraw. Probably we have to redraw the whole gun. Already that does not look like a circle. It looks like a weird egg. Some sort of kooky space egg. Kooky is a word that's gone out of fashion since the 1950s. Not going to bring it back. It's had its day. Right, what are you saying in the chat? Hello, Tyler Camus. Different Tyler. We got two Tylers now. I got Tyler Parker and Tyler Camus. Hello, Kawaii Christian. Kawaii Christian says, at least no one will not notice about your in-between cartoon layers. Not really sure what you're getting out there, Kawaii. But thank you. It's probably a reply to something I said earlier that I've forgotten. It's not you, it's me. Tyler Camus, Tyler Camus. If he doesn't super chat you, nobody will. Alright, so this is getting to the point where it should be kind of doable. I think maybe after this frame we're gonna move on and color it. And then that'll be that shot totally finished. And I'm also not going to redraw these stupid sights again. I'm getting sick of doing them. We're just gonna copy paste. You know, I used to feel bad about doing, you know, the tracing and stuff in animation until I spoke to a Disney animator, and he was a real Disney animator. He worked on Hunchback of Notre Dame and I think Hercules. A lot of the like late 90s stuff, called Raul Aguirre Jr. And Raul told me that he used to trace all the time. If they drew a good head and they were on a deadline and the head was perfectly fine, they just needed to, you know, maybe change the expression or something, they would call it place and trace, where they would, or trace and place, I think, where they would trace the head, change the expression, and just move it to a new position, and there you go. You don't actually need to draw it from scratch. You just sort of rotate it a little bit after you've traced it. And I thought, honestly, if that's what the Disney guys are doing, it's good enough for me. So we, you know, when you're tracing, you're literally using a Disney-approved technique. So don't worry about it too much. The battle of the Tylers, there can be only one. No, there can be two Tylers as long as they stay here, okay, and they don't go wandering off. Because then we will lose count of how many Tylers there are. Geranium says, I kind of want to take a game screenshot and paint over it as an experiment. Hey, that's a fun idea, dude. Yeah, there's tons of games that would work there. I'm assuming you mean a 3D game that has, you know, geometry and not like a 2D sprite game. Saw a guy on Reddit who was sharing paintings his dad had done of Red Dead Redemption 2, I think. And he was saying, basically, while he was playing the game, his dad, who was not a gamer, was looking at it and getting inspiration and going, I want to paint that sunset. That's a beautiful sunset. Or I want to paint those mountains. And he was actually, his painter dad, who I think was not a gamer, was painting scenes from the video game. And obviously the 3D worlds in the, modern games and a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 is so lush and vivid and well realized that you really can use it for reference for, kind of photorealism without losing too much. So I remember actually when the game had come out, I was showing it to Joyce's mum. Joyce's mum is a fan of Western movies, or she sort of was growing up, and does play video games. She plays Animal Crossing, and I wanted to show her, look at some of the vistas you can get in this game, with all the horse riding and stuff. And she did, she did say, "Oh, that's really beautiful." But inevitably, it would get to shooting someone in the head, or a horse breaking its leg and falling over a cliff and going splat. And I don't think that really won her over. I don't think she was so interested in that part of the game. Talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. I beat Red Dead Revolver when I was a teenager. See, when I was a kid, well, when I was a teen, when I was sort of 16, 17, those were my gaming years. That was when I had all my time to play video games. I just don't have the time to really play them anymore properly. But back when, I think I got Red Dead Revolver the day it came out. That's the first one that's not really a big, huge open world thing. I think I got it the day it came out, and I beat it a few days later. I just don't do that with games anymore. The last game I beat to completion was Xena Warrior Princess on the PS1, a good 20-something years after it had come out. And even that was probably 2 years ago. So, just do not play games anymore to completion unless it's, a flash game or some little 5-minute thing. Alright, I think we're done now. I think that's going to be good for in-betweens. I'm going to see what you all are saying in the chat. And if I missed anything really important. Harry Ashfield says, I actually had a question about one of your older animations, the Justin Bieber show. How on earth did that come about, and was there a deeper meaning to it? No, there's no deeper meaning to it. I really liked the idea of making a cartoon about a kind of current celebrity that was annoying to me, and just making something really, really weird, but not really making fun of them. It just was funny to me that it wasn't making fun of him particularly. Kind of makes him look boring, but it's not really it's not a strong indictment of Justin Bieber, that cartoon. And originally, I think it was going to be Miley Cyrus. I actually think I started it 2 years ago, not in earnest, but I sketched out a kind of Miley Cyrus all smiling, and I was going to call it the Miley Cyrus show. But then 2 years later, she wasn't as relevant anymore. I know she's sort of come back since, but so it went from, well, who's relevant now? Justin Bieber. And then that was, so it became Justin Bieber show. He did actually play the music from that video, the little, it's the Justin Bieber show. He played that at one of his shows, and I saw a recording of it. I should probably get some money for it. I don't think... I guess I used his name without license, but I was going to say I didn't think he could use my music and play it at his show to thousands of fans that have all paid to be there and not give me anything. But I'm not gonna go after him. Conman says, this is off topic, but do you have a favorite Star Trek TNG episode? No, not really. I like a lot of them. I don't know the names of them. I probably do have a favorite one. Okay, I gotta get to work. I'll think about that. I generally tend to like the earlier seasons. I like them all, but I like the coziness. I know a lot of people don't like season 1, but to me it's really cozy. I like season 1. And I like Pulaski. I like the second season Doctor, which a lot of people don't like. I like a lot of the second season, actually, in general. It's all good. It's such a cozy, nice, sweet show. There's no episodes I dislike, really. I don't like the Riker clip show episode where Riker gets stung by some alien alien plant, and just it's a clip show, but because it's a clip show. Yeah, I like them all. Alright, guys, I'm going to quickly change over software and get this rendered out and then color it in Flash. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Bye! Literally 2 seconds. Well, not literally. Probably about 80 seconds. Bye! hello, and we're back. And let's change that hideous green to a nice, easy on the eyes blue. And we're going to do some coloring now. We've got our 1, 2, 3 new, 4, 5, 6 frames we're going to color. We don't need to color this frame because he's actually a copy and paste of one of these frames, which we will use as reference for color. And let's get started on that white, and I'll see if I have any more questions I can answer for you guys. Let me see, I missed a few. Hey, Arch Hippie. An Immortal Demon has returned. Good to see you again, Immortal Demon. Hello, Daniel Bondarek. Daniel Bondarek says, what's your favorite XTC album? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. They're all rubbish. No, they're not all rubbish. Favorite one? I don't know, probably... It was probably Drums and Wires when I was young, but as I get older, I like Big Express. I like Apple Venus Volume 1 and 2. I like them all. Can't help it. Maybe Skylarkin's my favorite. Can't really do it. Maybe Oranges and Lemons is. I like them all. Let me see. Mr. Drawing Constantly says, how's your day going, Harry? Bad! Really bad. I'm glad you asked, because now I can kvetch on live stream. So this was my day today. Alright. I get up, sore. Very sore. Because I'm going back to the gyms. Now the gyms have reopened for the government mandate that they close next month. I went and I was sore and I was busted up, but I was told by a personal trainer that I'm working with I have to do the Stairmaster. So I did that. He wanted me to do it for 20 minutes. I couldn't. It really, really hurts. So I did about 10 minutes of that and about half an hour of other easier things to try and, even it out. So I got very sweaty. My lips swelled up. And it's all big and fat and swollen right now. I'm sore and my thighs hurt and my joints hurt all over. And I got my hands covered in a stench from... I forgot to water my lawn the other day, and so I had to do it today, but I did it for the first time. I was told by someone to do it, and I forgot. And then, I realized I had to do it today, and I hadn't touched my garden hose in many, many months. And I touched it today, and it had gone all mildewy and stinky, and it sort of tattooed the smell of itself onto my hands. And I've got these gross cheese hands. And I'm hungry because I'm on this diet plan, because I'm trying to get fit again. Now I can go to the gym. So I'm achy, and I'm smelly, and I got a big fat upper lip, and I'm just moaning. But other than that, I'm great. And I really want to eat. I told Joyce today, I was watering the lawn, and she was just sort of hanging out and being sweet and watching me do it. And I said, I was going to just tell her this. And I started saying it, and then I stopped. And she said, what's up? And I said, there's no point. I'm just going to be bitching to you. And she goes, what's up? What do you want to bitch about? And I said, Joyce, all I want to do is watch a Spider-Man cartoon and eat chicken nuggets. Because that's what, this morning when I woke up, I had to stay inside the house briefly before going to the gym. So I put on Spider-Man, the animated series, the old 90s one, and I just watched a random episode with Carnage and Iron Man in it, and had my coffee, and I was so happy. I was in my little happy place, and then the rest of the day just fell apart completely. Until that, I was very happy. But see, this is the thing. When the stream ends tonight, I can't just go and eat chicken nuggets and watch Spider-Man, which is what I want to do, because I got to write it in my food diary. And then my personal trainer guy is going to look at it, and he's going to go, what the hell are you doing eating chicken nuggets at 10 p.m? And I can't justify it. So moaning. Anyway. I can't say the guy that said achy smelly with a big fat lip, the Harry Partridge story. That's me. I don't know how to say your name, but I want to say hi. But your name is a symbol. Hey, Davian makes stuff up. Excuse me, Davian makes stuff up. He says hi HP. Hi Davian. Harry Ashfield says Iron Man. John Iron Man. The very same. That's the guy. Yeah, check out Okoroid's channel, Sid. It's good stuff. Okoroid is a talented animator, talented musician, nice guy. He's got a good musk. He stands nice and tall. Good posture. Everything about him is definitely on point. Oh boy. How long we've been out? 37 minutes already. Okay. So just getting this thing colored. It's all very dull. This is usually the kind of work when I'm doing this sort of thing is when I call my family. Because I can pretty much just turn my brain off and do it. I can answer your questions while I do this, but it does mean that I've got to constantly look up and actually read the questions, so it's a little bit distracting. But this kind of work is sort of thing I should be giving other people to do, really, because it's not something that requires a whole lot of mindset and focus, really, to do. So let me see what you're saying in the chat. Let's see what quality conversation I am missing out on. Immortal Demon says, can you hear the music while it's playing right now, or can the music hear you? Yeah, the music can hear me. No, I can't hear the music. I'd have to be listening to the live stream in that case. I mean, I suppose I could sync up a file and listen to it. I don't need to hear it for any reason, but the only thing that bothers me is when I sing, it's usually not in key with the music, because I don't know what key the music is, and I wouldn't be able to sing that exact key from the top of my head anyway. What's going on here? This is weird. Oh, I see what's going on. Oh, because this was imported as a geez, see that? This was imported as a PNG, so it doesn't want to color properly. There we go. That's gonna fix it. So we've got to actually make sure that we break it apart properly, and it doesn't because it wasn't coloring properly. I don't know if you guys saw earlier, but it was doing this kind of thing. We were trying to fill it in and getting these weird sort of lines. It's because I broke apart a PNG and I was just using parts of that, and that won't color properly. You have to make sure that it actually goes to back to being a vector graphic and not a imported PNG. Alrighty, nearly done with this. Terranium says, Harry, make that damn Patreon video, Harry. I am thinking when this cartoon is done and on my main channel, and not a moment before, when this cartoon is on my main channel, I will follow it up with an announcement about my Patreon, which is, it's not a great Patreon. We don't really offer anything substantial. There's a Discord invite that you get at a relatively high support tier, and there's 6 episodes of my behind the scenes show, Shot Blast, and a couple other things, but not much, not really a whole lot worth paying for. I'm really selling it well, aren't I? However, I'm thinking about doing a video to tell people, look, if you want to see Starbarians 4, which is my next cartoon, if you'd like to see it sooner rather than later, I'd really appreciate just a little bit of support on Patreon. Totally up to you. It's going to come out either way. Even if you don't support me, it'll still come out. But the invitation is open, just to let people know, because there may be some people out there that want to shoot over $2 a month, which would be great. I would much rather have 1,000 people give me $2 a month extra than 2 people give me $1,000 a month, because that's obviously too much of an investment. But I figure $2 a month for most people is not outrageous, and they can afford it if they like what happens as a result. It's not, an amazing investment, because you can spend $2 on me and only get 6-7 minutes of animation in a year for $2 a month. It doesn't seem worth it, right? And you can spend $2 and get an entire episode of an animated TV series you can watch on Amazon or something. So it doesn't really make sense as an investment, but let's be honest, you're funding indie productions, and I don't know, maybe there's something about it you like. Maybe Starbarians is the sort of show that wouldn't get on TV or wouldn't be made otherwise, so you think it's worthwhile. I don't know, everyone's different, but I'm certainly going to let people know that if they want to support me on Patreon, that the door is open, because I bet a lot of people on my main channel just have no idea that I have one. So don't worry, Terranium, it's coming, it's in the pipeline. Your check is in the mail, as they say. Alright, and so it's the lighter pink. Let's do that lighter pink now. And Like that. Let me see. Connor Conman says, as someone without a Patreon, I think it's more about supporting creators rather than buying content from them. Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to think how other people would view it in the most cynical terms. I kind of just am fine to lose $25 a month on Patreon, giving them to people that I like, thinking, they'll keep them making stuff. I don't really expect anything from it. Honestly, a lot of the time when you get, Patreon exclusive links come through for something to watch, unless it's really something you're paying to see, a lot of the time I don't go and watch it. I subscribe or I support people on Patreon that make extra content. A lot of the time I don't really care about that. I just want to watch their main content. Jumbuno, hi Jumbuno. Jumbuno says, Harry, are you still using Blender for your animations? Nothing has been made in Blender on this cartoon, but on the next one, which will be Starbarians 4, episode 4, we will be using Blender for backgrounds. 100%, yeah. Maybe even some ship stuff, but I doubt it. I want to go with a more hand-drawn look on the ships, maybe some 3D models that get sort of traced and cleaned up, but yeah, we probably will use Blender, definitely, on that. In fact, there's an opening shot that is going to be very ambitious that I'm planning to do, which is going to have to use 3D. We do have about 5 or 6 people who are Patreon supporters having their likenesses in this cartoon, and quite a few people submitted pictures of them that were not able to be included, and I'd like to have that not be the case. I would like to, in Starbarians 4, actually put in a lot more supporters as cameo appearances in the opening shot, and I've thought of a really cool way of doing it, which I'd like to do, which I'll need Blender for. Also, the cool thing about Starbarians is if someone has an OC that they want to show, they don't want to show their face, maybe they have, like a furry OC or a monster or an alien or some sci-fi looking guy that doesn't look human, and they want that to be their representation instead of, their real face. You can kind of get away with that in Starbarians. Dr. Bees is definitely like non sequitur and crazy, and there are absolutely weird looking people in it, but something like a furry, character, a fursona, I don't really want to put that in Dr. Bees unless I can think of a joke or a reason for it to be there. But Starbarians, we can put, Hogstrong is a pig man, so we can definitely put some animal creatures in Starbarians, and I think it will all make sense. I'll probably add some armor to people's designs, maybe it'll put like a sword on their back or make them a bit more muscly, but it'll still look like them. It'll just be like them in the Starbarians universe looking slightly different. Okay. Immortal Demon says, I'll be drinking hot chocolate and eating fried jellyfish once this cartoon comes out. What? It's crazy. This still sounds kind of good though. Beanlight says, hey. Oh, hey Beanlight. Beanlight says, hey, yo Harry, did you see that vid I sent you about auto in-betweening and the Blender update? Oh, I did. I forgot to respond. You're right. I'm sorry. Honestly, until it can offer even more than that, I'm still going to stick with the software that I'm used to. But I'm sorry I didn't reply to you, dude. I get a lot of messages every day, and a lot of the time I think, great, I'll remember to reply to that, and I don't. I don't reply. So, sorry about that, pal. But I appreciate you sending me that and thinking about me anyway. Yeah, Beanlight is correct. There is some auto in-betweening functionality in the new Blender update for 2D animation. But, I don't know, hey, maybe I will follow along a tutorial and try it out, because obviously Blender is not a program you have to make a big cash investment in. It is technically free, so it may be worth trying after all. I may have to rethink my original plan of not actually trying it out. Jumbuno says, as a Blender nerd, it's very cool seeing you use it for the alleyway. Oh, thank you, dude. I had fun with that. Hey, Normie Twice Removed. Normie Twice Removed says, hey, Harry, as an animator, what's some small side gigs someone can do to get some disposable income? Well, yeah, I'm actually going to be doing that tonight. I'm going to be offering some commissions on Twitter, I think, because because it's been a while since I've put out a cartoon, and the Patreon support has dwindled, the ad revenue has dwindled, so I've got to be making myself some side cash today. So I'll be offering some avatar commissions on Twitter later tonight, just in case you want a heads up on that. I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to be... what else can you do? You can offer to draw things for people. You can animate, YouTube show intros, draw YouTube banners. There's a lot of Twitch guys and YouTube guys that need overlays and intros, and you can just contact them and say, hey, I think you could use an animated intro. Maybe there are animation reviewers on YouTube that could do with an animated custom intro. I think intros, avatars, banners, stuff that people can use for their online presence, be it just a Twitter account or an online show or a streamer, whatever it is. I guess that would be a good idea. Or commissions for people where you draw their characters. A lot of people have created characters and stories that would like to see them come to life. They'd like to see their characters either move as a GIF or as an animation, and you could just contact them and say, hey, would you like to commission for $100? Would you like to see a little GIF of your character moving around? It could be anything like that. I'm not saying $100 is a great price to pay, but this is some crappy looking animation. Look at it. But there's some people that may be into that, and if you were starting out, that might be a good price for you. The first cartoon that I did for someone took me ages, took me like over a month, and it only paid $500, but I was so happy with that because it was an early gig. So it all depends what point kind of you're at in your career. All right, okay, so this is the shot that we're going to finish off today. We're going to finish off two, but this is going to be the first one we finish off. So right now, whoa, let me turn that so that we just see the layers that are actually important. What? Hang on. Let me turn down the speakers a little bit. They're a little bit too loud.
Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
All right, so this is the shot we're going to work on. And we've got our new frames like that. So it's this kind of thing. What we want to do is copy and paste our frames into a graphic and do this kind of thing. Alright, that seems to sort of look like it's a bit too big maybe. Or maybe not. Hey, Immortal Demon, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Immortal Demon sends a $15 super chat and says, the war changed me, I can't see my eyes. Dude, I'm very sad to hear that. Hal 900 Eyes says, Harry, favorite XTC album? You're actually not the first person today to ask me that. I couldn't decide. Maybe Skylarking, maybe Apple Venus, maybe Drums and Wires. Magma Muncher. Hey, Magma Muncher. Magma Muncher's a really great animator. Yo, did I miss the stream? Nah, dude, we're not. We're only about halfway there. Don't worry about it. We're still going. Harry Ashfield says, everybody buy a HP commission. They're awesome. He actually, he has one right there in his avatar, which was not, I feel like I didn't do a detailed enough job on yours, because sometimes I do them real detailed, but sometimes I sense people want something that's more like a stamp or kind of cartoony. And it's sort of a little bit different for everyone that I do, and I wanted to do Harry Ashfield's in a sort of cartoony, fun way, but that may be not what you wanted, so he seems happy, which I'm glad about. Alright. You should never say that kind of thing to people. I went to the barber yesterday and finally got my hair cut for the first time since last year, because the barbers have all been closed in Britain. And the guy, he said this stupid joke. He was like, how happy are you with it on a scale of 1 to 10? I said, because it was fine, it was a good haircut. I said, oh, 10, definitely. And he went, ah ha ha, 10 times the price, ha ha ha. And I thought, no, that's not funny, man. So I shouldn't be going and telling people that, that maybe I didn't exactly 100% love how their commission came out, because it gives them license to go, oh, well, do you want to do it again? No, I don't want to do it again, but I'm just saying. I really wanted to tell that guy, look, you know, just because I said I was satisfied with it doesn't mean I want to tip. I did, by the way, I did give him a good tip. Yeah, I'm a good tipper. But I thought, no, just because you're satisfied with something completely doesn't mean you pay 10 times more. I know it's a joke, but the logic of it was bothering me. Okay. All right. So this is the kind of thing we've got now. Oh, no. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, it looks bad. I know it looks bad. But it's kind of coming up like that. And I think... I think it works. But we're going to tweak it. We're going to make it better.
Comfortizer on myself.
Okay, so what I think...
On myself.
Okay, this is what we're going to do, guys. I have had a little idea here. First of all... I don't like it being straight at the top there. And we're going to go in and kind of create a motion tween. Motion tweens are useful. Don't knock them. Don't knock them. We're going to create a motion tween. So it actually starts with the gun pointing down. Okay, and this is what we're going to do. So we're going to start off with it like this. Put the point of rotation down here. Oop, and have it actually end up more like that. So as he comes up, the elbow's a little crappy looking, but we may be able to just get by with it as is, because his body, I think, pretty much obscures his whole elbow. Okay, I know that looks weird, but it might not look too bad. Okay, so it starts off completely obscured, which I think is fine. I just like that. It was poking up here, which I didn't like, because I don't think you should see it at the beginning of the shot. So I think that sort of thing is better. You barely even notice that it actually rotates, but I think that's fine. It just looks a little nicer, I think, if we don't see it until... And here's the other thing I want to do. So when it wobbles here at the end of the shot, it's on 2 frames, basically, both on ones. And so I'm thinking I'm just going to actually have him go and do this. On the first motion tween, we're going to just have him actually shake as he comes up. And I might be able to kind of achieve that with every... Let's just do that a little bit more subtly. Yeah. Oh, you know, that's actually too subtle. You know what they say about Harry Partridge? The guy is just, he's too subtle, okay? Everything he does is so underhanded. The voices are too realistic. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be shaking. Even though when you look at the graphic like that, it's actually shaking quite drastically. Maybe that is not a good idea then. But I was thinking maybe these could... Sorry guys, my lip, my bloated, swollen lip from earlier today, I think it's bleeding, and I'll like keep tasting it. Ugh. Alright. Ugh. Ugh. I'm just wondering if we can kind of have the gun on 2s wobble even more as it comes in. this. Like that. Okay, sorry. I know I'm not talking much, but this kind of thing. Maybe that looks too crazy, or maybe that'll look okay. Oh, I like that. I think that works. I think that shot is done. Okay. So this is the shot in its he's in the void now. Where's the background gone? I'm doing that a lot lately. Let's just turn off all the crap at the side. So, and then we'll come to this shot here. We'll do that lastly, okay? And then we'll be done. For reals, we'll be done with all the animation in the entire cartoon. Let me hit the save button. Come on, Harry. There we go. And then I think this kind of thing does the trick. So, he obviously is on the floor. He's dropped his gun.
Oh, uncomfortable. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer.
Let me move the big old properties box out of the way.
So uncomfortable. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
You know, it looks too fast.
On myself.
Can we just slow it down a little bit, Harry? How about when we go back to the beginning of the shot? We just do something like that. Does that slow down a little bit?
Myself. No. Advertiser on myself. No, I don't think so.
Which is funny, right? Because he's the comforter. He just wants to make himself comfortable because he's covered in bee stings. It's going to be hilarious. Don't worry about that. I think that shot works. I think that shot totally freaking works.
I sting all over. I'm so uncomfortable. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself. No, I don't think so. Instead.
All right. Okay. I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
No, I don't think.
All right. So yeah, let's hit save again, even though we didn't do anything. I want to take a chance to say hello to Storktoons in the chat. Storktoons is going to be helping me out on the next cartoon I do. Really looking forward to working with him. He's a great animator, cool guy. Sean Lindblad, hey Sean, appreciate you coming and gracing us with your presence. Normie Twice Removed says, I know it's a common struggle for artists to be persistent with their work. I love what I do, but struggle with getting started. Any tips that have personally helped you in the past? Yeah. Every day you're getting older and nearer to the grave. Every day that you don't be productive and follow your dreams is a day that you're going to regret not having done that, because one day it could all be snatched away from you. You never know. I didn't think that it would be basically illegal to travel and go and do anything for a year and a half. There was a lot of stuff I wanted to do in 2020 I didn't get to do. I wish I'd done them sooner. So I don't know, life is brutal. My advice is, if there are things you wish to do not be a coward. Go and do them, and make your life, as good for you as you can, and good for those around you, and do the things that are important to you. Anyway, back to the cartoon about bees. Young Master Pig says, hello, good old pal, how are you today? Oh, I've moaned a lot today, actually. I'm fine. Really, I am fine. I'm doing just fine. I was moaning about silly little things like, being physically tired and having a giant fat lip and cheesy hands, but it's okay. Geranium says, what's this? What's this? A 3-month deadline on a Harry Partridge cartoon? Dude, stop rubbing it in, alright? Hey, R.E. Bess. Old school flash montage. Remind me of the good old days. Yeah, there we go. Hey, EWK14556. Hello, Ro-chan. How you doing, Ro? Long time no see. Guys, I'm actually going to tweet out this this live stream, which I've not done yet, because we're at the point now where we are going to be finishing off the final bit of animation for the entire cartoon. So let me just copy the video URL. I'll be right back. I'm just going to tweet it out, and maybe take a trip to the bathroom, but I don't think I have time for that. Gonna have to hold it all in. I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. And I am back. And we're going to finish Dr. Bees 3. It's been a long time coming. And I've absolutely picked the worst part of the cartoon to leave until last, because it's like when all the, interesting spoilery stuff happens. I'm going to try not to give too much away. I should have left a really mundane, boring scene until the very, very end and just done that on live stream and whatever. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't matter. Let's finish this final scene, which is, or the final shot even, which is this shot. It's a really boring shot, I guess. It's me complaining about spoilers, but there's no spoilers if we just concentrate on this moment alone. So, we were working on this one yesterday, and I was planning on doing this elaborate thing where the hand comes in.
Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
I'm gonna do this elaborate thing where the hand comes in and actually picks up the gun, and he aims it at himself. I think it was Terranium in the chat said, just, what are you doing? Just don't ever have him touch the gun. Cut, and then the actual bit of animation of him picking up the gun is technically hidden in this shot, and it still works continuity-wise. So Terranium had a really good point there. He definitely saved me some major ball ache, I think. What I'm going to do, though, is a couple of things are bothering me about this shot. For example, his hand coming in here. I feel like it could just be a little bit bigger. Billy Big Hand is who he's going to be now. He's going to have just a bigger hand. Stop making jokes about my giant hand. So, just a little bit. Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit more in scale with the gun. The animation of him kind of coming down is a bit crappy, maybe. Kind of more... Yeah, more like that. It's all motion tweens because it's Dr. Bees. The animation's kind of deliberately not fantastic, so we can totally get away with that. But we need to color the poor sucker, so let's go and get... we want his skin tone and the skin tone of the bee stings. I'm looking bee stung today with my giant swollen lip. I just get it every couple of years. I get sort of, I don't know what it is. Every couple of years I get some sort of infection or allergic reaction, and my top lip gets big and then goes away after a couple of days. Well, it stays big because I do have these big floppy lips, permanently anyway, but then they're bigger than normal right now. So I'm going to make sure that the background isn't the same color as the skin tone, Harry. Can't flip and see what I'm trying to do. And also maybe turn off the layer below, because we're just going to see that and it's going to drive me nuts. So if we just have to look at the gun the whole time. So we've only have 3 frames basically of animation here, but gonna just kind of create a quick segment there to sort of break it apart from the rest of the hand, so we can color it in, that kind of thing. And so the bee stings, I kind of wish I'd put little, dots in the middle of them so they actually looked like there was a point at which they'd been stung. Didn't do that. Opted to not do that. Opted to be lazy. And I've made that bed now, and I'm going to lay in it because we want to get this thing done tonight. This is the last night of animation. I'm going to have to take a couple of days to do sound effects and some music. But we are done on the animation as of the completing of this shot. Hip hip hooray, it's only many, many months overdue. How great is that? Hey, Radio Jim! Good to see you, Radio Jim, with the $2 super chat. I really appreciate it, Radio Jim. Radio Jim says, love you, Harry. Thank you, Radio Gem. I love you too. I love you equivalent to $2, which is, it's not insubstantial. I'm a cheap guy. Hey, Dan's News. Dan's News says, it's awesome seeing the progression of this shot. I was watching the video on demand of the last stream earlier. Well, thank you, man. It was a boring stream. So I'm surprised you managed to get through any of it, but appreciate it. And definitely we're going to get this thing done tonight, for sure. Unless I have a power outing or a, cardiac arrest or something, I'm going to get this thing done. Because it really doesn't need anything other than some shadows and some coloring and a really quick and easy background. Alright, so let's change that background color again. We're going to want the kind of fluffy bathrobe. Nope. Fluffy bathrobe cuffs to be colored in white. It's like he's being attacked by a leprous Santa. And I want a nice pink that he has on his outfit. this high-grade animation there. That's like a Milt Kahl in between. One of the 9 old men's would have done that. Great drawing there, Harry. Really excellent, my lad. Okay, we'll take that pink and we'll color in this arm. And then we're done with this guy. No, he's got a little tear that I've got to color in, flesh colored still. Alrighty, let's go and color in that little tear. There you go, like that. Okay, so for the rest of the shot, to make it work, what we're gonna do... Oh boy, got another super chat, another 2! I'm trying to animate over here! Wow, thank you very much, Tyler. Tyler sends a $5 super chat and says, congrats, Harry. You deserve some Spider-Man and chicken nuggets. This is what I was saying earlier. The one thing I wanted was Spider-Man and chicken nuggets, but I'm on a diet plan. And I'm not allowed to have junk food really at all, and it's going to be bad, but I would love that. Joel Mayer with the super chat with the I don't know what CHF is, buddy. I forget the name of the currency, but I really appreciate the money. Thank you, Joel. Joel's a Patreon supporter already. He's on the Discord. Joel says, congratulations on almost being finished throwing money. Yeah, almost, buddy. Only a couple of days of sound and pulling my hair out, pulling my gonads out over the sound design issue. Jacob Carmine, thank you, Jacob Carmine, sending £6.66, a demonic share of the Queen's currency. Hey, always good to see Harry stream. Have some hell dollars for the road. Appreciate it, Jacob. Really do. Really, really do. Immortal Demon. Oh, dude, Immortal Demon with another super chat. Hey, guys, I have to get some animation done tonight, so you can call it with the generosity, but I really appreciate it. Immortal Demon, thank you, buddy. That's extremely generous of you. Comic Tropes is in the chat, my buddy Chris, who I want to give Chris a digital slap on the back. He's had a rough time lately, and I'm proud of him. And he's a badass, and he's been in my thoughts a lot lately. The Comic Tropes intro that I animated for Chris, which he kindly paid for. It wasn't done for him, just as a surprise. He paid me a lot of money for it. The other day I was thinking about Chris, and I was thinking about the videos that he puts out, which you should check out on the Comic Tropes channel. I was watching them, and all I could think of was, there's an audio pop in that's driving me insane, and I had to go and dig out the old files and fix them and send them to Chris again. That's not really a necessary thing to get into talking about right now. Anyway, hi Chris. Right. Let me finish this damn shot before you guys give me any more money. So the background for this entire scene is this kind of padded cell. It's not a cell. It's like a padded room with everything's got these little I don't know what you call them, the kind of puckers you get on a couch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find a way to copy and paste some of those, because I don't want to have to draw any. Being as lazy as I physically can. Where are they? so funny how when you draw things or animate things or whatever, you can you get like this weird sensory memory of the thing you were listening to or thinking about while you were drawing it. And I just had a horrible flashback to, I was listening to a film review of the movie Book of Henry while working on this background. And all I can think of is the Book of Henry while looking at this background, the Colin Trevorrow movie, which got kind of slated in the reviews, but I think looks okay. I think it looks like an okay movie. I haven't seen it. I've only seen a review of it, but I actually thought it looked kind of interesting. Okay, so we've copied and pasted some of the ground there, and what I was thinking of doing is basically just slapping this on the ground, rotating it like that, flipping it like that, making it bigger like that, squishing it like that. You know, it doesn't, I don't like it squished so much. I don't know, the perspective's kind of weird. I don't know about that. I mean, it's kind of okay, I suppose, but it's me. I should be all encouraged and hardworking, but I'm just going, I don't want to do any extra work. I'm bored. Clytus, I'm bored. What plaything can you give me today? If you ever watch the intro to yeah, this is the problem. I think the kind of little puckered bits don't look, they're not the right perspective. When you flatten them, they look too flat, simply. If you ever watch the intro to Flash Gordon, the 1980 Flash Gordon, at the start, they're talking about the planet Earth, and they see it, and Ming the Merciless goes, What do they call this planet? And Clytus, his right-hand man, goes, they call it Earth, sire, or something like that. And then Ming the Merciless has a giant button called Earthquake, which he pushes to give Earth an earthquake. But the button says Earthquake, and they had to ask the name of the planet. And they already had the button made. Anyway. Hey, yikes! Thank you so much for the super chat. Are he best? The heavy metal Batman guys. If you're into Batman, if you're into heavy metal, if you're into funny animation, check these guys out. They are fantastic. They're so good. And you guys have got to tell me if I'm saying your name correctly, because I keep saying are he best, which is not really anything. But man, that's extremely generous of you guys. They say, what the hell for the bees. Appreciate it hugely. It's very generous. Yeah, I think that ground will work, but I want to fix some of these little couch puckered things. Wow, why is that doing that? I want that to kind of do that sort of thing. It's gonna get real boring now. Now Harry's not doing anything fun anymore. He's just pulling lines. Haha, look at this. You know. Why is it doing that whenever I grab it? It's probably a bit faster if I just do it kind of like that, I suppose. It's weird that it makes the background sort of go, or it sort of all goes invisible whenever I select it. Yeah, this is a real way to kill the stream, Harry. Start just pulling lines into shapes to try and create, because they wouldn't look so flat if you were looking at them. This is what we're going to do. This is so extremely tedious and could take so long. It's a completely pointless way of spending my time on Earth. What I'm going to do is fix the background color for starters so we can actually see what we're doing. I'm going to turn on the onion skin, and I'm simply just going to draw them. Just draw them real quick. It won't take too long. And I can take some comments or some questions or whatever while I'm doing it. Comic Trope says, with all the super chats, Harry can finally retire. For 30 hours. And I will. I'll spend it all eating chicken nuggets and watching the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, which I do love and was watching earlier today. I was trying to figure out if Tony Jay is the guy that plays the voice of the Kingpin. He's the Judge Frollo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. He has that kind of really deep way of talking. I can't do an impression of it. But the Kingpin in that show has like an intense voice. Actually, no, it wasn't Kingpin that was in the episode I was watching. It was Mordo, Baron Mordo from Doctor Strange, and it sounded to me like he was Tony Jay. Can anyone look that up? Is Anthony J or Tony J the voice of Baron Mordo in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon? Let me know. I'd appreciate that. Who voiced Baron Mordo? Poor people. Deal with my crap. What's happening here? Okay, so we're gonna try and get this background element sort of wrapped up. Let me see. No, Arhi Best didn't tell me how to say their name properly. Yep, Tony J. Hey, thank you, Port Sabi. Appreciate it. Harry Ashfield says, thoughts on this current Spider-Man films? Man, I was saying earlier, I have not seen them. I saw Civil War, which of course Spider-Man was in. That was my exposure to the Tom Holland Spider-Man. And I thought he was fine. I liked his performance. But I gotta say, I don't... So, and I saw, what did I see? I saw Endgame and Infinity War, which of course Spider-Man is in. And I don't like kind of what they've done completely with it. He is fine. The acting is fine that I've seen. I have no problem with any of that. It's the fact that I feel like Spider-Man is a very street level character, and he's not really. I mean, he's done lots of crazy stuff in the comics, but the comics that I read growing up, they were more the 60s era, the John Romita, Stan Lee stuff, and I know that's only a small piece of Spider-Man, but I like Spider-Man fighting bank robbers and guys that are electric, or guys that rampage dressed as a rhino, that kind of thing. I don't like seeing Spider-Man go into space with really techie, high-grade equipment. I like seeing Spider-Man kind of be more human, I suppose, more vulnerable, more mundane in a way, because I think that mundane sort of juxtaposition of the fantasy and the mundane is interesting. I keep using the word mundane. But yeah, I think you know what I mean. I like Spider-Man having to fix his own costume, and Aunt May having to have whatever her heart medicine is that week. And just that kind of stuff. I feel like they went, because they had to merge it with the wider Marvel Cinematic Universe, you have too much cosmic, epic, interstellar stuff already happening. I want to say, I don't know if there's a term for it, but there's like movie franchises have to deal with what I will call kind of creeping technological advances in that universe, and that's a ham-fisted way of saying it, but the new Godzilla movie has crazy technology in it that some of the other movies didn't have, and now they've got it. I think people are going to expect it in future movies, and it creates this weird problem where I don't think, if you're going to do a big sci-fi movie series or a big action movie series, don't introduce some crazy technology that then you're going to have to always have in the background. I think it's better to try and keep things as basic as possible. I do think that the more technology you put into a story, the harder it can be to then write yourself around why people don't use it. Like in Star Trek, you have beaming, teleporting technology, and in every episode they have to usually say, oh, there's an ion storm, we can't teleport them up from the planet, or they've got their shields up, or they have to come up with a reason why they're not using it. And a lot of horror movies today have characters with mobile phones, cell phones. They have to have no signal. They have to lose the phone, because in any normal situation, a normal person who's in a crisis would just get on their phone and call someone and call for help. Hey, sorry, I missed some super chats. Harry Ashfield with the super chat for £5. Thank you very much, Harry. Harry says you'll get your super chat when you fix this damn door. You are a good super chatter. I am a good man. He's my favorite character. They should bring him back, Mr. Shit. Wow, Mr. I'm gonna look this up. It's like Mr. Bobrikov or something. Spider-Man to Mr. Latka, Mr. Bobrikov. It's one of those kind of like vaguely European, Eastern Europeans. I typed in Mr. Bobrikov. That's not his name. Why did I just type in Mr. Dickovich? There we go. I could have gotten that. For some reason, I was thinking Mr. Aziz, the pizza delivery guy. Why didn't I forget that one? I think I know the reason that's tattooed inside my mind is because of the PS2 Xbox game where you're always doing the like, Mr. Parker, why don't you always deliver my pizza late? You know, that guy, the Mr. Aziz character you do all the pizza missions for. Alright, so that background is going to be okay. All we need to do now is basically add the color below it, like so. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Make it just a touch bigger. I feel like those puckers could have a little, yeah. And we're gonna make just the whole thing. Let's grab that, put it in a symbol. Mr. Ditkovich. Yeah, there's that line about, if I were, like, what? If promises were crackers, my daughter would be fat. It's funny. It's a funny movie. I like Spider-Man 2 a lot. I don't even mind Spider-Man 3 that much. Anton, I really appreciate the super chat. Anton, thank you very, very, very much. You didn't need to do that. Anton didn't say anything. He was just coming by to be financially supportive. You're great. Thank you. Nacho Hamburg says, how many times have you gotten robbed? Dude, I don't think I have ever been robbed, actually. Joyce has. She's had a hotel room broken into. My sister, I think, got her house broken into. Basically, I'm at home all the time. No one's ever going to burgle me. I'm not outside. I can't be mugged. And I'm inside, so they can't break in. So, yeah. I'm not living a very dangerous life. Power creep, says Connor Conman. Yeah, you're probably right. That's probably the name for the trope. I knew it must have a term for that kind of constantly increasing technology in movie or TV series that they then have to explain away why they're not using it. Oh, think of Steve Ditko. There we go, comic tropes. Steve Ditko being, of course, the original artist of Spider-Man, the co-creator, really, of Spider-Man. That's probably what it's a reference to, Mr. Ditkovich. Yeah, they did that a lot in those Marvel movies. I mean, you get the Stan Lee cameos, but I'm sure in the Daredevil movie, there's tons of references. Like Kevin Smith is in it, and I mean that is a reference in itself. But he plays a character called Kirby, I think, reference to Jack Kirby. I think there's a boxer called like John Romita or Mr. Romita or something. Bendis, I think, gets a reference. There's like a bunch of writers and artists that get name checked in the 2002 Daredevil movie. I recently saw the 2007 Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage. Monster movie. I liked it. I'd never seen it before. Everyone craps on it, and it wasn't great. And I think the worst thing about it was the villain character. What do they call him? Damn it, I forgot his name. Anyway, like it's like some cheesy thing like Nightmare, or he's in the comics. Oh gosh, he's in the comics. He's a big spiky demon in the comic. I wish he looked that cool in the movie. But yeah, I didn't mind it. But then I'm a sucker for that era of superhero movies because it reminds me of my childhood, basically, or my teenage years, going to see Spider-Man 2 and Fantastic Four and Daredevil, directed by the same director as Daredevil. Never seen the director's cut of Daredevil, but I hear it's quite a bit better than the theatrical version. Okay. Oh, that needs to go below there because we want to. There we go. Little drop shadow to sort of make it look. The perspective is still not great, but it helps, definitely.
Comfortable. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on.
And the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that darker color there. I think it would be nice if the I'm going to make it so that actually, oops, I'm going to sit this on top of the drop shadow if I can. Where is the drop shadow? There. And the bits that overlap, I will try to make them just a little bit darker so you can still see them, like that kind of thing. Oh, that didn't work at all, Harry. That didn't work at all. There we go. So we'll be there too. So I got the shakes today. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know why I'm shaking all over the place. I think I'm just physically tired. Physically, went to the gym a few times. No one wants to hear me moan about that. But I'm very out of shape. Not been able to go to the gym for a long, long time for obvious reasons. But they're open again now, and I risked it. And I'm currently, I'm okay. Everything's fine so far, but I'm just very, very tired all the damn time. All right, so I'm gonna go in and re-add that color that we just took away from the ground layer. Just go and slap that underneath. And I think, guys, the only thing left to do after this point is a shadow layer for the hand, and basically have a like a big lump come in, and I'm thinking it would be, let me see, what layer will it be on? And sorry guys, I'm not answering questions. I'm not good on the new Flash. I seem to have problems with it. Why is that not coloring properly? Okay, all right. We want this thing here to be the color of this thing here. Is it because the layer is locked? It doesn't like it if you just try and sample colors from locked layers. Okay. All right, we'll get back to that in a second, and I'll just see if there's anything going on in the chat that I want to be aware of. Black Heart, Harry Ashfield, thank you very much. Yes, he is the big bad guy. Thank you to Comic Tropes. Frank Miller was in it. The Daredevil movie? I think you're right. Yeah, I think a few guys. He wasn't in Ghost Rider, if that was what you were saying. I think you're talking about Daredevil there. Hey, everyone. I got a super chat from Yap. Yap is an animator who's helped me hugely on this cartoon. In fact, a lot of the in-betweens you're going to see in the cartoon are by Yap. This scene not so much, because this one was mostly by me. Yap, this is some of your stuff, right? Dr. B's here, and Omnipotron here.
Instead, we should look to see who's really behind this.
Yeah. So that's some Yap stuff. Yap is fantastic. He's working at the moment on a shot that I can't wait for you to see. It will be in Starbarians 4, and it is so good. He did it all himself. I didn't actually do any rough animation, which is new. I did a lot of the keys and rough animation for Dr. B's and animated a lot of the shots myself. But Yap took a shot for Starbarians 4 that he's finishing up at the moment, and it looks really beautiful. It's animated and it's colored, but he's adding shadows. Really, thanks. Appreciate it, Yap. Yap says, heard you have another in-between animator. Are you cheating on me? No, dude. No, but we do have another intern starting in May. And he's great, and together the three of us are going to burn through Starbarians 4 and get it done. Cheeky. Where are we? There we are. Okay, so we want to get this arm going to be around about there. I just want a shadow under the arm to show you that it's kind of close to the floor. And let me see. This kind of thing. Now it's not great. We want to have it shake. The arm shakes, but the shadow does not. So we'll figure that out. And let me see. It sort of starts there, and it's 1, 2, 1, 2. So it goes forward, back, 1, 2, back, 1, 2. Okay, so I think it's this kind of thing. Let's make the shape of the shadow a little bit nicer there. That should sort of be roughly... No, that's not in time at all. Let me see, what frame does this start on? It starts on frame 1, and this layer starts on frame 1 as well. Let's try. Look at that. Oh yeah, okay, that needs fixing for sure. Just the speed it's coming in at. And we are going to make the shadow look a little nicer, I think. It's a bit crappy looking. Alright, so this is very lazy. Let's have it not look like a big old schlong. How about that, Harry? How about that? I'll draw something that actually looks hand-shaped. Nacho Hamburg asks, how many times have you done an all-nighter for a cartoon? I used to do them a lot more. I'm getting older now. They're getting harder to do. And honestly, here's the real issue, I think. The real issue that I think is that they don't actually pay off. Now, granted, if something is due tomorrow, like let's say something is just due in tomorrow for whatever reason, it's for a deadline, sometimes you have to do an all-nighter. But if the issue is, I just want to finish the cartoon and I don't really care, you know, it just has to be soon, but doesn't have to be super, super soon, why take all night to do it? Why not just get up early that day, do it all day, and then go to bed? Because all you end up doing is ending up having to sleep later on and get that time back. And then you're not really in any better position than you were when you started. You know what I mean? It's you know, if you're going to be awake all night, why not just be awake all day and then sleep all night? Because you're going to need to sleep at some point anyway. So yeah, you know, I will do late nights, but then I just catch up. I end up having to catch up later on. So I gotta fix the timing here on the shadow. Something like, yeah, that's a bit better. It looks more like a hand. And you don't want the shadow to go down too much, because as the hand comes in, you know what would be cool? Oh, you know what would be cool is if the shadow went over the gun. Okay, we're gonna do some fancy stuff with the shadow now. Okay, I'm gonna do some fancy stuff with the shadow. So I'm gonna take these these little kind of puckered lines here. I'm going to take them and I'm going to create them again on the layer above, but I'm going to make them the darker color, like so. And I'm going to copy and paste the shadow as it comes in. And as we do that, I'm going to make it mask, like so. So as it moves over them, it didn't work. Great. Does it work like this way, maybe? No. The idea would be that as this moves over just the red bits... Why isn't that working? Oh yeah, that's what I wanted, like that. Okay. Oh, is it because... No. wait, alright. Okay, so we got the bottom pink. We got the shadow. And then we got the... Hang on, Harry. Like that. And then that on top. But that's only visible when the thing is there. Like that. Oh, I'm totally lost. Sorry guys, I was trying to do a thing where the shadow would make the lines below it darker, and I thought I had done that because this line, this layer was those lines put in dark, and then this would be the mask that cuts out the shape. Yeah, it seems to be working there. Why can't I see this? Oh, it's because the regular shadow... I see what's happened. The regular shadow was on top. Okay, now that's what I wanted. See, because I had to duplicate the shadow. I had the original shadow that was visible. It wasn't a mask layer on top of the thing that we were trying to create. I see. There we go. Hey, Gregor. Good to see you, buddy. Virtual271, it says, is Dr. Beast complete? It nearly is. It nearly is complete. It nearly is. Okay, there you go now. Oh no, what happened? Oh shit. Hang on. Okay, so I think the last thing we want to do is I just think it would be kind of cool if there's a shadow of the hand moving across the gun. How do I do that? It's the same thing. It is... we grab the shadow again. And we grab the gun, and then we create a dark version of the gun, I think, like this, copy, paste, and then we create, we've got to convert it to movie clip maybe, and then go to properties. Oh boy, my brain is not situated for these kind of problem-solving things. Multiplying? No, we'll just do normal, kind of normal. Tell you what, just make it a graphic, Harry. It doesn't need to be a movie clip. Make it advanced. Do like that, and then copy and paste the hand again, the hand shadow, I should say. Like this, And then if we make that layer a mask layer, we get this effect. Turn everything off. Oh yeah, I was kind of hoping. I was hoping it would be more on top of the gun. So let's just do that. We'll move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'd be this kind of thing, but we'll turn it off so... I mean, that sort of works. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab our copied gun here, the movie clip for it, and I'm actually going to take away those bits because I don't want the shadow falling across those bits. I just don't think it looks as cool. It doesn't look quite as three-dimensional. And then it'll only fall across the bits we want it to fall across because we've taken those away from the mask. So, there we go. I think that's it. Guys, I think that's the shot done. It's not amazing. I didn't rely on any backseat animating. I'm sorry. I didn't really take any suggestions on board. But I think we're done. I think we're done. Okay, so that's Dr. B's 3 finished. Other than sound effects and some music, which will take a couple of days, and I now have to go and make money for a couple of days because I have to pay rent. So I'm not going to be able to do that, unfortunately. I have to go and do other things, and so I'm going to take the rest of this week, maybe, to go and make some cash, pay my rent, and come back to Dr. B's and try and get it finished by the end of the month. I will be sending it, however, today to the French dubbing head of that, who's taking care of that, my buddy Ben, so that it can be turned into French, because I know that most of you would rather see it in French. And I'll take care of that today. I've got Gregor helped me today. He wrote out a transcript of all the visuals that may need a tweak in the French version, such as adding baguettes and, you know, strings of garlic to characters. Is it strings of garlic or is it strings of onions? I'm getting French people confused with vampires. But yeah, that will be sent off today. But visually, the cartoon now is done. It's done. All the lip syncing, all the backgrounds, all the animation. So there we go. We've like Dr. Bees and his new buddy Omnipotron have defeated the Comforter, the terrifying villain, the Comforter. We have finished the animation. There we go. That's all the lip sync, character design, character animation stuff, backgrounds, all finished. So every scene now looks like this, completely finished. And the only thing remaining is to add the grain, which is a little filter that takes 2 seconds to do, all the grain and sort of stuff. Thank you to all the people saying congratulations. There's a lot of them. Hey, Miles Parsons, I didn't say hello to you yet. A lot of people in the chat. Pyromaniac too. I really appreciate it, everyone. And thank you so much to our kind super chatters today. I got a lot of super chats, man. Really did. Yeah, so there we go. I don't know what to say. I appreciate it. I can't believe how overdue this cartoon is. It's completely terrible that it took forever, but I'm glad it's basically done. Other than sound, which I will get to, it'll only take a couple of days after I've taken another couple of days to create some cash flow for myself. Hey Edie as well, thank you for coming by. I didn't say hello to you yet, but appreciate you being here. Marianne Dandridge, I know her very well. Appreciate you being here too, mum. Marianne is my mum, by the way. I'm not going to hide that fact. She's my lovely mum. Mum, I finished this cartoon I've been moaning about for the last couple of months. It's finished. I still have to do sound, but that I don't count that as work because it's way less effort than animating. So, everyone, I'm gonna take off now, and I'm quickly gonna advertise on Twitter that I'm selling commissions again because, like I say, that's my hands rubbing. No, like I say, I need some cash flow, so I'm gonna do that. But you will. My gosh, when will the next live stream be? You know what it will probably be? It'll probably be me working on a little tiny gig that I accepted for the end of this month. Yes. So it probably won't be Starbarians, which will be the next cartoon we do. It'll be something else before that, but it will be a totally new project. I can guarantee you that much, because we're done with Dr. Beats. We've made it to the end. Thank you, Mr. Drawing Constantly, Arch Hippie, Dajo Paho, Bowser the Dog, Harry Ashfield, Joel Mayer. There's going to be so many people I don't name check here. Sid Sugar Skull, Virtual 271, Tewak, Terranium, Beanlight Games, Yap, aka YCS here in the chat, an animator that actually helped on the cartoon. Really great. Anton as well. Thank you for your super chat, buddy. Davi88, the Bad Cow Bunch, Magma Muncher. Of course, Magma Muncher, excellent animator. Jacob, Carmine, Gregor the Scot, the one and only Gregor the Scot, who's also helped out on the cartoon in non-animated but very, very useful ways. He's a production assistant and a good spiritual guide through the whole thing. Really couldn't have done it without most of the people in the chat. Actually, a lot of the people in the chat didn't help out at all, but a lot of you are Patreon supporters, spiritual supporters, like I say. Dan's News, if I didn't name check you already. Space in a Space, Miles Parsons, Jumbuno, Tyler. You guys are excellent. I'm going off now. Heading off, going off. One of the two. Look at my sell-by date and you'll find out. Speak soon, everyone. You take care. You want to see the shot one more time? It's not a very good shot to end the whole thing on, but sure, here we go. Here's the shot. Here's the setup.
I sting all over. I'm so uncomfortable. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
No, I don't think so.
Bram! The end. Catch you soon, guys. Take care.